good clip. Sometimes send them out to me, but I had so many. Good afternoon, my villagers. How are you all out there? It is very cold where I am, but it's otherwise it's nice. It's good. This year 2025 is closing out on us, which forces me to look at a set of realities. The first reality is that we've been had. That's what it is. We thought with having a black president, President Hussein Obama, we had made it over the hump. Didn't realize the hump was more like an impossible heap, Now, y'all going to be hearing me get using a lot of those expressions. See, I'm from the silent generation, which is history, really. Shows where we created expressions to confuse our oppressors. Now, second reality is that racism is alive and well, manifesting itself through every frame of our existence. And the third, and probably the most important reality is, to assure our survival, mankind's survival, we are going to have to meet the rubber where the road is. Now, each person may interpret that differently, but it's going to behoove us to come to a consensus. And that we, as the indigenous people of this earth, are going to have to align ourselves with God and the universe to accomplish this goal. I don't see it happening without either. And that's not old school religion now. That's the vulnerable us as human beings, being in submission to the greatest power beyond the fleeting power of Trump and his goons. Now you may ask how. Well, we can do that in several ways. But the most important and effective, I believe, is to withhold our dollars. I understand we, the African American community, spend in excess of $1.6 trillion. Wow. Yeah, that's with a T, mostly outside of our community. Some reports show that it turns around in our community approximately 6 hours, give or take. Can you imagine that? And even that 6 hour is not necessarily.
To every African who has lost hope, I say this: lift your head high. You are the child of a powerful continent, the descendant of warriors, builders, and dreamers. Do not let the world convince you that you're...
Just now listen to these statistics I have for you. The Asian community circulates their monies with their community approximately 28 to 30 days within the community. The Jewish community, 19 to 20 days. The white community, approximately 17 days or more. The Latina community circulates approximately 6 times before leaving their community. But wait now, before you start blaming yourselves, our poet, Sister Maya Angelou, said, if we knew better, we'd do better. And before you answer that with, well, some of us know better, how do you know that some of us know better? Have 200 plus years of slavery and another 200 plus years of Jim Crowism, racism, segregation been studied to see what lasting effect it had on our society? I don't think so. And I contend that until our situation of 200 plus years of slavery and another 200 plus years of racism, bigotry, Jim Crowism have been studied and not just used as a historical landmark, we won't know how it had played into who we are, how we react, and how we will move forward. Until we realize that, we're just whistling Dixie, another one of my sacred expressions. But seriously, any serious condition to study has to be studied with the name. That's why I called it a virus. Matter of fact, I call it the African slave virus 401, coined that phrase. And you wouldn't expect to cure a virus without having first identified, researched it, treated, and made an attempt to cure it. That's what this podcast is about. Convincing our experts, our specialists, to take on our situation as you would any other illness, as you would cancer, HIV, the pandemic. Then people outside of our community will respect the seriousness of our condition and stop assuming that just anyone would have answers to why and should we respond to different situations. You know, I was very deliberate and intentional when I entitled my podcast Unapologetic Amateur, looking for experts in Africanism. See, I tell you, in my book, if you read it, Verbal Healing, I am an expert in living black. I live black every day. Racism, sexism, least of this, least of that. But I'm not an expert in black living. That's a whole different kettle of worms. Expert in black living entails knowing the why, the what, and the when of a people called African Americans. We need to create laboratories, universities, specific schools of study to bring about bona fide results. As I said when I coined our condition, the African slave virus 401, it was to identify what we've got to tend to and cure. Because if we don't identify it, we would think that it is how God made us, right? But with all that baggage, truth be told, we did more right out of slavery when we weren't as brain damaged as we have come to be. But even with that history, 200 plus years of chattel slavery, cultural annihilation, Jim Crowism, racism, and the worst inhumanity on the face of the earth, we are still maintaining and doing better than any other human being that would have been put in this position.
That's right.
You know, that's why I'm determined to promote the idea of the need to get our experts, our specialists, thinking in the same vein as an oncologist in curing cancer or a cardiologist in curing the heart disease. Some things just don't go away by osmosis. Well, now, let me get off my soapbox and thank my team.
Yes.
I thank my producer, Sheila Bird. Of course, I thank my advisor, Juanita McClure. I thank my promo team. I thank my engineer, Norm.
Yes.
Oh, yes, we do.
Norm.
And, of course, I thank my co-host, Rose Moore. Thank you, my queen.
Glad to be here.
Uh-huh. But now, first, before I bring you on, Rose, I just want to pay homage and give my condolences to two of the most precious people in my life whose loved ones made transition recently. Robert, my brother-in-law I call him, and a staunch supporter of this podcast. His sister Evelyn made her transition. And my bonus son, Tony, whose dad made transition just 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
A 90-year-old king who raised a great son. I believe God is pleased with both of them. Now, Rose, you have some info about our babies.
Yes, I
kids.
do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I am so pleased to announce that we are finally in the month. Time is moving so fast.
Moving so quickly.
I tell you.
Oh, my word.
But with glad tidings.
Yes.
I announced that we will be having our show with the young people back the last Monday of December. And I think it's great because it sets the tone for the new year. So I think it's great. And we're going to be looking at Carter Woodson's book, The Miseducation of Black Folks, which is right in alignment with what we've been doing all along. We went to Africa. Now we're back home.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ruby is going
What
to...
a better start.
Yes,
I tell you.
yes. And she's going to help us interject what this podcast is all about, the mission of this podcast, and what the endeavors of the young people are. So we want everybody to stay tuned and be tuned and tell your friends and young people, because we are going to take a journey back to our ancestors, our Martin ancestors, and see how they got through those trying times. At the same time, passing the history on to young people and everyone so they can carry the baton. So yes, I'm very pleased.
And I'm
looking forward.
excited. I'm excited myself to think that they will be coming back on board.
Yes.
Now we are going into the seasons of Christmas and Kwanzaa, somewhat with trepidation, somewhat with sadness, but never without hope and confidence that we, God's human specimen, will come through triumphantly. Now, you all know we try to bring you knowledge each week that responds to the scripture, Hosea 4:6, that says, "My people will perish for lack of knowledge." Now, this week, we have more interesting clippings, or I thought I had brought them, but it's my fault I didn't. But we're going to bring you maybe some repeats, and just as well, because we just can't get enough of the knowledge that has been brought here.
Absolutely.
And which help validate the greatness of our people and the lies surrounding our image. But first, I want to remind my villagers of my impending first children book, What's in a Name? Must You Tell Everything? My producer of this book, Sabrina, has done a marvelous, magnificent job of bringing it to fruition. She even penned the music that accompanied it. She's in California now finishing up a movie taken from a book she wrote. I will announce it when she gives me the go-ahead. But I'm really so proud of her. You know, I would like for you all to start calling your bookstores, the libraries, or wherever you get your books, so they can be aware of the forthcoming of the book. Now, I think I'm going to, Norm, could we bring on my, the book, promotion of the book? Do you have that?
Sticks and stones can bruise the skin, but words go deeper, they sink within. A whisper soft or a shout so loud can lift you up or break you down. A single word can feel like rain, wash away the deepest pain, or it can burn like fire inside, a wound no one can see from outside. Words can harm or heal, they can break or they can build. What we speak, what we say, can change your heart in just one day. Use them wisely, let them shine, let your voice be warm and kind. Every word is powerful and real, because words can harm or heal. Remember things said years ago. Some were heavy, some made us glow. A gentle phrase can calm the storm, a cruel one leaves the spirit torn. So let's choose love over fear, speak with truth and make it clear. We're planting seeds with every line. Let's grow a garden full of kind. Speak life like sunlight through the trees. Speak hope like waves upon the sea. Let forgiveness be the song you sing. Let your kindness be the gift you bring. Words can't harm or heal. Lift the soul or make it new. Every voice, every sound can turn a moment all around.
I am so thrilled,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
I have loads of information today. I am thrilled, of course, with that. I have a new promoter who is AI savvy. Now, all my books will be available, which will allow you to order, download each one. I'll tell you more about it as we go along. I'm terribly excited because I've written these books over time that seem to be more fitting now today
yes.
than ever.
Oh, definitely.
You know, my first book, Verbal Healing, we must to reject tired, trite, tasteless, and other nonsensical expressions that keep us damaged. My second book, Victims of Confusion, self-explanatory, right? My third book, a reality fiction novel, I call it. The Quarters, a story of a place where I grew up. Reality, but in a fictional sense, if you will. My fourth book, Emotions to Live With, subtitled Let Go, Let God, got to accept we do all have these emotions, good and bad, just got to know how to handle them. And when we don't, as my subtitle indicates, let go, let God. And of course, my latest book, Why Shouldn't I Cry? Subtitle Ode to the Black Man.
Yes, very necessary.
We're giving them credit for who they really are, God's gift to man. And now my first children book. I'm so excited about that book. It just came out so nicely, so well put together. Yeah, I have been a little busy. All for enlightening
Yes,
our
yes.
people.
Yes, purposeful, very.
Yeah.
Divinely purpose.
At this point, I would like to see my villagers just to say hi to them and find out what they're doing. Let's see who we have here. Rashida, always there, baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And Chester. Hi, Chester. Robert Cabbage Dog. Hello on deck. Mary Watts. Hi, beautiful Queens. Hi, Queen. Back to you. Lloyd Shivers. Good afternoon, family. Just appreciate you all. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you always to tune in and check us out and see what we're doing. And we're really going to continue to bring you the message, the information that you need. Right now, we're going to go into our first segment, which is bringing you the information, clippings on just very important information. Let's see, which one, Norm, do you say we have that I haven't done yet? Is it number 5? I don't know. Which one is that? What is that? No, the one here. The end, downloader, yeah, what is that? That's not the African
Value
one.
is small. Africa is not a curse. It is a blessing misunderstood by those who fear its greatness. From the sands of the Sahara to the rivers of the Congo, from the peaks of Kilimanjaro to the forests of Cameroon, greatness flows in our blood. Yes, our nations face pain, corruption, poverty, and betrayal. But that is not the end of our story. Every struggle is a seed of strength. Be proud of your roots, your skin, your language, your culture. We don't need to be like others to rise. We only need to believe in who we are. The youth must wake up and rebuild what was broken. Let us learn, create, and stand together. The hope of Africa is not in foreign aid, but in the unity of its people. Be proud, stay strong, and never forget, Africa's future is in your hands. I am Traore. To every
Okay, well, I can always hear him any day,
Yes,
any time. But
yes,
that was
yes.
the president of Burkina Faso. That was
Right.
Abraham Traore.
Traore, yes.
But that's okay too.
Extraordinary young man,
person,
yes.
particularly in these times when
Yes.
every African great person has always been signal
Yes.
for elimination, and we just keep him in our prayers and make sure that everything is everything with him. How about the What's in a Name piece? Oh, no. How I didn't know. sick minds. What is that about?
When we look at racism and white supremacy, we're not just talking about hatred or ignorance. We're talking about a deep psychological sickness that has been normalized, institutionalized, and passed down like a generational curse. Because think about it. What kind of mind sees another human being, a whole creation of God, and believes they are superior because of the amount of melanin in their skin? What kind of psyche dedicates centuries to building systems, laws, religions, and economies to justify hurting, stealing from, and traumatizing an entire group of people? It's not normal thinking. That is pathology. Racism ain't rooted in strength. It's rooted in fear. Fear of equality, fear of accountability, fear of losing power, fear that if we thrive, they lose control. That fear creates delusion, and delusion creates violence. That is textbook mental instability, y'all. White supremacy required a mass delusion so strong that it convinced a whole society that kidnapping, raping, selling, and lynching human beings was not only acceptable, but moral. Now that requires cognitive distortion. That requires disassociation from reality. That requires a lack of empathy. All of that is symptomatic of a collective psychological illness. And here's the real truth. The harm that they inflicted on Black people for generations was a mirror of the harm already living inside of them. Because mentally, whole people don't create oppression. Confident people don't need control. Emotionally healthy people don't need domination. Only a sick mind needs to convince itself that others must suffer for it to feel superior. But let me flip this. The miracle is, even though this sickness tried to break us, we never broke. We built families and churches, businesses, culture, music, art, and innovation that shaped the entire world. That is the sign of a healed mind, a resilient mind, a divine mind. The real mental illness is racism. The real strength is the Black mind that survived. And that's why we tell our stories. That's why we honor our ancestors. And that's why we remember our history. Because understanding the sickness helps us stop internalizing it and start uprooting it at its root. Because we are the descendants of greatness. We know that. And the world tries to study our trauma, but they never acknowledge our triumph. And every day that we wake up, we're breaking generational curses, y'all. Generational curses that we didn't even create. And we are the evidence that even in the face of all this madness, we're still excellent. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear this Black history gem.
Yeah,
Well
we can
told.
well told. Can never hear too much of that because it was the 200 years of constant constant lies
And
and
sickness,
misinformation
like you said, it's a
about us
pathology.
that got us to the position we're in now.
Absolutely.
And I talk about that in terms of I deliberately and intentionally titled this podcast "An Apologetic Amateur Looking for Experts in Africanism," because that's very important to understand exactly what we need. We have suffered insurmountable, untold misery that no one else in the history of the world have suffered. So we don't even have a protocol. We don't have a prototype to even look at to find out how to work this stuff. We have to come from scratch almost. So when coming from scratch, we obviously it's more urgent for us to understand, because until we identify it and make it known that we know that it is almost it's like a virus, that came upon us, that once they snatched us from our homeland, brought us over here, I say human traffickers, and then enslaved us and did all the bad
Try
things
to strip
to
us from everything that we identified with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously, without question, that requires some kind of tending to. So when you look at African people, I have it in my book there, the two words that we have to be very cognizant of and conscious of all the time, the explanation and excuse. Sometimes we like to say to our people, well, you're making excuses for when you're not doing what you're... Well, no, we can never say that because we don't know if it's an excuse.
Right.
If you have not been tended to or been looked at,
right.
you wouldn't know if it's an excuse or that.
Exactly.
So we need to call what happened with us an explanation. But with them, it will be an excuse because we know without a doubt they can come from the least to be the best. We see what's in the White House now.
Right.
We see what's in the White House. So we never understood it before. It's being clearly
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So they can come from the least to the best, and we can be the very best and still can't get to the top. So our situation is to be described as an explanation, not excuse on any level. Norm, if I could bring up my people again, and then we will go into, there was another one I saw. Okay, let me see if anyone is there. Wakia, she's on now, so good to hear. I just want to make sure I recognize all of you, and that you continue to support us, continue to call in. Okay, let me see, Ronald, I want you to bring the white racism. Did we, that one, did we show that one at any time?
We did one on white racism. But
Well,
it's so
show that.
Stop
prevalent.
rebranding racism. You and I both know exactly what is being said, and I am so nauseous of living in a culture where white leaders are standing up and they're sanitizing racism with these slights and these little cuts and acting like I'm the least racist person in the room. You're not fooling anyone. And I see it, and the reason I know it is because I am you. I am a white male. I grew up as you grew up. And hear me when I tell you, I've spent the last decade having to heal the deepest, darkest shadows of racism in my own heart. And if I've had to do that, then you better believe it's in you too. Stop rebranding racism. You and I both know exactly.
Wow.
Excellent. Couldn't have
Tell-
said it
telling
better
it-
myself,
telling
you
it
know.
like it is.
Telling it really like it
Speaking
is.
truth.
Truth to power.
That's
That's
right.
what it is. Now, what is the first one here, Ron? No, I don't know why I want to call it Ron. No, not that one. There was one I saw. What is Sick Minds? Did we do that one? That
We did that.
we did that one.
Yeah, the sick mind.
What's in a name?
That's the book.
I'll keep, please. And how about the one next to it, Downloader? Yeah, what is that?
It's like to be disrespectful, and maybe this is, some people are going to think this sounds dumb, but I feel like there's a deeper reason why, you know, people of color and specifically the Black community have been relentlessly persecuted. Like, I mean, just the things that happened during slavery alone, like, were insane. But I don't know, the more I learn about Black history and the ways that, you know, people who literally worked in the government, like the CIA, all these different people in power were trying to ruin the Black community. And it makes me think, dude, I feel like, is there something more going on here than just racism? Because it's like, come on, you're telling me you're doing all of this stuff just because you don't like someone's skin color? I feel like, what if, I have this theory that, like, what if Black people have some type of superpower? Like, what if they have, I don't know, if they're just born with something very valuable that we don't really know about, but maybe, you know, like I said, these people, these rich people and these people in power, maybe they figured it out a long time ago, and maybe that's why they were like, oh, we have to, like, get rid of them, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I feel like maybe they have something special that we are not taught about that is linked to them being people of color, you know? And I've seen some Black creators come on here and try to explain how special it is to have melanin in your skin and how it has all these different properties, but I don't know. I just feel like I have this theory that this goes so much deeper than maybe a lot of us realize, because I'm sorry, but I don't think you're gonna go out of your way for all these hundreds and hundreds of years to try to ruin one group of people over something as silly as, oh, their skin is a different color. Like, I feel like there's something that we don't know. I'm telling you, there's something special about them that they don't want us to know. Okay, this is just something that I've been thinking about recently, and I'm like, maybe if there are some Black creators that maybe they already made a video and I just didn't see it, I don't know, but like, I don't know, maybe this sounds dumb. Or maybe this is like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but, you know, it's just something I was thinking about.
Now, this young lady is a smart young lady, very inquisitive and very analytical in her observation of how Black people have been treated and finding out the history that she is finding out. Now, the answer to her question is Black people that you know that came in the transatlantic slave trade, that went to the Caribbeans and went to the Americas are in fact the biblical ethnic Jews of the Bible. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We are God's chosen people. And the push is for us not to learn who we are, because once we learn who we are as a people, we will be able to come back to the greatness that we once were.
I don't mean to say this like to be disrespectful, and maybe this is
Yeah, and just to
Absolutely,
show you how
absolutely.
important one person can be. Now, one of the reasons that we are repeating these is because the person that usually is responsible for sending the clippings in, as I send them to here, is my bonus son, Tony. But as I explained to you, he just had dad just transitioned, so that it shows you the importance of one person and a.
Yes,
you know,
yes. How important the power of one.
exactly the power of one.
I'm writing about that. The power
Are you?
of one.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I miss him, and I understand. I knew he couldn't bring this to Norm, but that is what it is. So that's why we were repeating, which is no problem, because we need this information repeated to us, because this is basically what's been done to us over the 200 or 400 years. Things
That's
been
right.
repeated to us that could cloud our mind,
Right.
and you never stop. It's a repetition of trying to destroy us. So with that in mind, you just got to keep repeating. So now to undo what's been done, we have to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Keep repeating.
So
And by
people
people
understand.
that other folks might look twice at and say, well, okay, if they feel that way,
Right.
we are not just whistling Dixie. Another one of those
Absolutely,
words.
absolutely. It's like a movement. I'm learning now about the movements and affiliated groups through history, because we have to become responsible citizens for social change. And what
Yeah.
I mean by that, I mean you have to put action with it.
Behind
Who
the
did you
provision.
say, the famous guy? That's his famous words. What you gonna
What
do?
you gonna do about
What
it?
you gonna?
I play with Joe
it takes
Madison.
that. Joe
exactly.
Madison.
And
It's gonna take
we
that.
just stay busy, and that's what each person has to have a point in life that they're doing things. And I know
Right.
you, Rose. I have you. I just feel so blessed that you are here with me now. But you're a seriously busy lady. I know you're still in school. Explain what you're doing.
Just briefly,
background.
just briefly. I tell you, I'm so overwhelmed sometimes. But I've been so inspired by you. I got to say that
Same here
because
with you.
I have like 2-3 books that I started and just did not find the time. But I guess all things in time.
Yes.
Now is the time.
Yeah.
Now is the time, and apart from God, we can do nothing on our own.
Right.
But yes, I am. I did return back to school at my age.
Right.
Oh,
Let's
by the
talk about
glory
age
of
thing.
God, I tell you, because things have changed now. Everything is digital.
We
now.
got to understand and learn, not because I am of age, but we
Right.
got to understand and learn how to appreciate
Right.
age.
Absolutely.
Because what bothers me more than what we think in this society as go sit down after a certain,
Right.
we know that there are societies, particularly the African side, that respect and highly idolize.
Right.
the
Especially
elders.
now. Especially when I tell you now is the time to stand and take a stand, because if you don't take a stand, you're going to fall for anything.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
today, what I'm learning with AI now, I'm also taking that in school too, because AI is becoming more advanced with every new innovative development. And not only is becoming dangerous now.
It can be that too.
And I tell you, so we have got to be on the post. I'm not only taking psychology, and I will be done, praise God, in April. The psychology, but I'm doing the AI, that's important, and I'm doing responsible citizen for social change, because talking about a movement, this podcast is a movement.
Oh, definitely.
It's a movement that's the thing about it is it's this podcast and every stand that you take and every affiliated group that you joined is how it's been done ever since the church started. So I'm using the church as a movement because the church has been the hub. It has been trusted. It has been developed because we weren't allowed after slavery to go into the white church, nor did we need to or want to. But our God has always been there for us, and He has a plan. And the reason why I'm so excited about this, Ruby, because all that we've been through, it is more important now for you to continue what
Exactly.
you are doing.
It's
the
urgently
books,
important.
The podcast, because I always knew, I guess, since my early 40s, that we are the original Israelites. We are the descendants of the Israelites. Those Caucasian Jews that are occupying the land and that they call Israel,
Right.
killing those people in Gaza, those are counterfeit Jews. There are Jews and there are Israelites. And the difference is the Israelites are the ones that are God's chosen people. And there ain't nothing Caucasian or powdered color about it. So it's important, as you say, to get that information out, Ruby, so that
It's
our
the
people
life-saving
will
type of
know.
thing now, because so
Yes.
many of us have come under the impression that we are what we've been told we are.
Right.
And when you do that, you get into a lot of
Well,
situations.
look what he's done.
Yeah, look what it's done to us. And some unbeknownst to us, many of us, if we had this information with us,
Yep.
knew it,
Right.
we would act differently.
Yes.
So
yes.
even with that, as I said before, we still the best of the
But
bunch.
you know what I was
Yeah.
thinking? You know how they told white people that even the way they got over is they told white people, no matter how poor you are, no how bad you are, you're still better than a black man.
Oh yeah. Well,
This was the
President
hype.
Lyndon B. Johnson, he's a white president, said
Did
that.
he say
You know,
that?
he
Who was
said
it?
that.
Yes.
So
that's how they got over, and they believed the lie. But I am so grateful today, Ruby. I tell God every night before I go to bed, God, I thank you, because no matter what they do, they can't change the fact that we are not only your firstborn, but when you said, let me make man, it was us that you had in mind, okay? And
Definitely.
we are your chosen people.
yeah, and that's one of the things
That means so much to me.
It means so much to many of us all of us who know the real deal.
Yes.
But as I often say and continue to say, that if you don't know, you know,
Yes.
and Maya Angelou say, if you knew better, you do better.
Yeah.
And for us to bring forth this information, I believe another quote that said, "Truth crushed to the earth will certainly rise."
Yes,
again
rise
one day."
again. That's right.
One of the reasons that I've been on this thing of writing books since years ago, and this last one, as I said before, the children book, it is purposely done too, because our children need the information
More than ever.
more than ever before, because unlike when I was coming through, at least they allowed some of them old books that they had and gave them on to us to read after they had messed them up and read them. But now they're taking books out of the schools.
right.
That's very
That's
necessary
right.
for our children. The little history we knew, they're not allowing them to know.
Exactly.
And
They're trying to
because
erase it all.
yeah, and yeah, that too. And they're saying that they don't want their little ones to be hurt and intimidated by the news that they created, the history that they created. You know,
But isn't
they
that
don't-
just like a devil?
it's like a devil. As devil, I'll do
A
the devil
murderer?
work, but I don't want anyone to know about
Get
it.
rid of the evidence. Well, it's
Get
too
rid
late.
of everything. It's a little
We
too
need,
late.
what's the song? Boots on the ground.
Boots on the
We
ground.
need boots on
But
the ground.
and even their own children, see, they do things. But their children in general, but particularly they're curious as when you start taking things away from
Right,
them.
this is true.
So they're
This
going to
is
want to
true.
read all this that they're
This is
trying to
true.
hide from them. You know, it's just a matter of time. But one
But
of
this is the time. This is the time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is the time.
Yeah, and I advise anyone, because everybody got a book in them. I always said that.
Yes.
And I advise you, if you got something you need to say, I started my first book, Verbal Healing, way a year back, when I was looking at this from a point of view of a black person who felt that they weren't getting quite what we needed to move forward. And although there were great books out and great information out, I've always known that it needed to be something akin to a sickness, a virus,
Yes,
and you need
yeah.
to tend to it.
Yes.
So when my writing my books, it was always from that perspective. So when my first book, Verbal Healing, it was first named "We Must Reject Tired, Trite, Tasteless, and Other Nonsensical Expressions That Keep Us Damaged." At that time, I was sort of going on the road. I was on the radio, and by the time I finished with that title, my time, you limited time when you're on the radio and TV.
Right. When
It
you're
was
busy.
over.
Yeah.
So I renamed it Verbal Healing. So that's where that comes from.
And we need it.
Verbal
we need
healing.
it. God knows we need it.
And it means the same thing. It means that verbally, if we used to go with that old expression that the sticks and stone, they hurt my bone, but words, words
That's
hurt
a
you
lie, though.
sometimes.
Yeah,
That's a lie.
lie.
But
That's a
words
lie.
can hurt you more seriously
That's
sometimes
right.
than the sticks and stones.
That's right.
So when I wrote Verbal Healing, that was mainly for that reason, to bring forth the face forward what we have been saying, or what we allow people to say about us and how that affect us. And with the Verbal Healing, just a few words I want to, a few expressions anyway, that we are very aware of. When we say we are our worst enemy, now we use that, and we internalize that, and if you internalize that, you begin to believe it. And I guess you wouldn't use it if you didn't believe it, but I'm saying you believe it from false notion that we are our worst enemy. Couldn't be our worst enemy. Couldn't even match nothing that has been done to us. But we use that enough, then we start disliking ourselves, And
It's true. It's
we
true.
black people don't stick together, another one, and that's so false, because if we had not stuck together,
we wouldn't have gotten this far.
exactly, wouldn't be in the position we are in now, and we're in better position than any other person could have been in, coming out of the situation that
Where
we
we
came
were
out
in.
of. There's another one. Black folk are like crabs in a barrel.
Yeah.
Now,
I've heard that a
I've
lot,
heard
too.
that.
Yeah. We want to pull each other down, basically. Is
and
what it's
and
saying.
don't realize that we all are in the barrel.
Yes.
And when we're in the barrel, and if I'm pulling on you, it's not trying to pull you down. I'm
Right.
trying to get out.
Right.
So, so it's not about me pulling you down. I'm just trying to get out the barrel. And we don't,
But like you said, we say these nonsensical things without realizing.
Yep. And
Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
in the power of the tongue. Another one of the tricknology, I call them, stop making excuses. That's why when I wrote in my book, just stop using the word. It's not an excuse. How you know it's an excuse?
Right.
But whatever I tell you, I use the analogy. Sometimes it's funny, it may sound funny, but if I tell you right now, Rose, I don't like collard greens, and you say, well, why? I say, well, it's slavery.
Right.
It may sound funny to you, and it may be comical, but you don't know if that's the truth, because we've never been tested and truth.
Right. It is what it is.
And you cannot deny it, because you don't know. There's been no research around what the effect of slavery done on us. And there's research done about it, but it's not, say for instance, I'll take that back, because there's the book called Dr. Joy DeGraw.
Oh, good. I thought you were thinking
Post-traumatic slave
about that.
syndrome.
Yeah, right.
We got it in books,
But that's us. That is
Yeah.
us doing it, like you said. The experts.
and that is us know it. The few, one or two or three who know it. Everybody doesn't read. Everybody hasn't read her book. Everybody hasn't, done a whole lot of research on a whole lot of things.
They don't even know who she is.
Right, exactly. So that's why, the same as if you were trying to study a disease, you wouldn't just get anyone off the street. You would get someone who specialized in that area, who studied that area, who can research things around that area.
Right.
It's a whole, with us, it's just it's just history to know that there was slavery.
Mm-hmm.
But how about knowing what, the why, and the when, and how to get rid of it, to get rid of what the residues of what happening to us. And there's another one. I don't believe in racism from either side. Now that in itself.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, well,
anyway.
see, but that's because we
that's
don't
what they
know.
call
We
it,
don't.
ignorant.
Yeah, ignorant. That's because we don't know. We don't know that to be racist, the way I understand it, had been described to me, you have to be in a position to affect people's lives in ways that the average person can't.
Right.
The ways that they affect our lives and still doing it, that's racism. And we didn't know things we didn't know prior to Trump coming in, we're going to know now. Because he's making it very clear.
But I believe that's why he was.
Yeah, I
I
believe
really
that.
believe now
Mhm.
that he was installed to
Mhm.
show white folks what you've been doing, because
Mhm.
you think it's in the closet
Mhm.
because it's impacting the people that it was targeted for.
Right.
But since now that he's in, because God always did that in
Yeah.
the Bible, he gave Saul.
Right.
You know, he said, "I'm going to give you a leader just like your crooked, evil heart."
Mhm.
And he gave them Saul. Well, he gave them, and I really believe he was merciful too,
Mm.
because it's in the open. So
Uh-huh.
now we're going to see what you really about.
Right.
Because now that it's in the open,
Mhm.
you got a leader that's telling you that you can do this and do that, and in your heart you know that it's lawless. You know
Mhm.
what's been done now. It's no longer under the covers. Racism is out there.
Out there in the open.
Now we're going to see there's going to be a line drawn in the sand.
Mhm.
It is, the judgment is here already, and people don't realize that.
Mm.
The white folks are being judged right now. You got a chance to do right
Mhm.
or step out.
Yeah, yeah. Another one of the expression, and this is very apropos for what's happening now. I like the South better because Southern white let you know where it's at. I don't want nobody to let me know where nothing if you're going to insult me. But that is similar to what folks say about the politics now.
Yeah.
Race, the voting.
Yeah.
Well, both of them. I'd rather the Republican let me know where it's at. I'd rather Trump let me know. Give me
They
respect.
have no idea.
Yeah, give
Oh, my
me the
God.
respect as I give you, because you don't know how I feel about you. But if I respect you enough not to just, spit in your face,
Right.
it doesn't do me any good for you letting me know what you feel.
Exactly.
Do whatever
Exactly.
you do. You don't have to let me know what you're feeling, because I know what you're feeling in the first place.
Exactly.
See, I have no illusion in the first place. I never look for love in all the wrong places. Many people do, and again, because of what we went through.
Right.
I'm always come back to
Right,
that.
right.
It was not natural. It's what we went through. So, having said that, we sometimes look for love in all the wrong places, and
Yeah.
we think if they don't express their love for us, then I don't like that person. No. Long as you treat me with respect
That's
and
right.
dignity,
That's what it's about.
and make me believe that you gonna do what it is that I put
Well,
you
they
in
got a
power to
chance
do.
now.
Mhm.
Well, they certainly know now.
Yeah, because some of our fellow, I use the word Africans because although they may have come under different names now, many of the immigrants, as they call them, are from Africa, and they just come out with a different name. The ones that I'm getting ready to reference now, the Somalians,
Somalians. Okay.
and how he just dogged them.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked. Well, I shouldn't say I was shocked. I was hurt to see this Somalian minister, I think, who, before Trump was elected, declared his allegiance to Trump. And he was on recently hurt because of what Trump.
Because he
Yeah.
fooled a lot of people.
Well, I don't even know how you can fool a person. Trump was very clear. He one thing I will give him credit for. He was extremely clear of his racism. Now, who can? I don't know how you could have overlooked it. I don't know what it was about him that you thought he was in alignment with you. Any person of color, he was very clear about what he thought.
I have a
about.
good friend in Barbados
Mhm.
that still thinks that Trump is not racist,
Yeah.
and I'm tired of trying to tell him.
No, I'm
like-
you're patient. I wouldn't be even
Right.
talking with him.
I
by
don't
now.
have it. I'm like, stick around. Just stick
Yeah.
around. Some people, Ruby, have to learn on
Yeah.
their own.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
if they
what I
haven't learned from Trump, I don't know how you can learn. He doesn't hide it. He's very clear. He's very plain. He's very outspoken, and he makes no bones about it. That's why he's unlike anyone. I've been around for 300 or 400 years, but I have never seen anything like Trump before.
But you got
He-
these. I have to say this about
Mm-hmm.
men of the cloth, but that's all they are. The national prayer breakfast, the national white nationalism. they are backing him, and they're shutting up. You don't hear nothing from them now.
You don't hear
nothing.
anything only because it's hitting
Nothing.
them harder than it's hitting most of us.
Because they didn't know just how evil
They knew.
he was. But I think they were really shocked at the cruelty, because now it's affecting them.
Yeah, they didn't know it was going to get to them
That's
so
right,
quick.
that's
they
right.
thought they can deal with it. They will take the abuse for a minute. That's like President Johnson said. As
Enjoy
long
white
as they thought
privilege.
they were had that white privilege,
Right.
they didn't know it was going to hit them so hard and so fast.
That's right.
And they were under the illusion too, based on Reagan when he
Yeah, oh,
coined this a welfare queen thing.
Yes.
Thinking it was the majority of black folks on welfare, thought it was majority of black folks who were poor. Didn't realize all them folks down there in the Appalachian make up a whole lot more than the ones up there in Harlem.
Yes.
So they were misguided and misled too.
Right.
So that's the ignorance of them. The
And we didn't
dumbness
do
of
our
them.
homework. I say one thing about it. It's making more people, the young people has got those 4 boots on
Oh,
the ground.
yeah.
I see them on social
10 toes,
media.
12
They got
toes,
their
or 10 toes
homework.
down.
That's
They got
right.
12 on.
They got their
10
homework.
toes down.
They're educating me even.
Yes.
I'm telling
yes,
you.
yes.
So it did wake us up. We're waking
Yeah,
up, and
yeah.
I'm praying to God that we wake up even quicker.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I tell you, he's put it to us within we've gone a year, but he did
So
what
much
he
evil.
did within 6 months. I would say within 4 months.
It's scary.
Trump did a whole lot of stuff within 4 months.
It's scary.
You know, and it's really scary. Norm, could I see my folks again just so I could holler at them just in case and the new one came in? I want to make sure I got everybody this time. And Chester, stay encouraged, my sister Rose and Ruby. We are so proud of you and the stand you're taking to inspire us to do more for
praise
God.
God,
See,
praise God.
okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Praise God. Aaliyah Lacey, greeting my friend. Okay. Skill Muhammad, watching. And Chester. Well, mental health is racism. It sure
Yes,
is.
yes, it is.
That's what it is, and
Yes, it is.
good afternoon, family. Wakia. We are so pleased that you all are just continue to watch and
Yes, thank you.
You know, share
Faithfulness.
and do whatever
Get the word out
the
there.
word out there.
Yes.
Get the word out there, because we are trying to do what we do on this end. Is our brother Joe Madison, our great ancestor, always say, "What you gonna do about
Right,
it?"
right.
And we are doing things. I'm so encouraged because I'm encouraged my villagers. Please tune if you have any of the black news radio stations or wherever you get your news. I mean, but I listen to what is it? Urban
Yeah,
News
Urban News.
every day. So much information. I don't know. I know at one
Sirius
point,
FM, right?
Sirius FM 126 is the channel I listen to all the time. But I know there are other ones that I ask that you just check them out. You get so much information, so much news, and it's news for the soul. You know, good news for us, because that's what we need. I know things are not going the way we even anticipated under any administration. See, it's not just about Republican or Democrat, because there's no Republican Party going on anyway now, you know, and there's no comparison, you know, no two sides to this coin. It's just there's not there. So we just got to deal with this the way we can deal with it. But what I will say, I would suggest now, before the elections, any elections start again, make sure you convince those folks who declared that voting didn't matter, declared
Yes.
that politics are not what they are, declared that all that stuff that you declared before, you better rethink. You see what's happening now. You see, even if you feel that, well, the Democrats are not who I need them to be. Anytime they are better than the next person, that means that you got a chance to move people in the direction that you want them to go. But if you got someone like Trump in, you have no chance. You know, it's better to have. I always make the analogy of the slave owners. Who would want any slave owner? But if you know one slave owner lynch you every other day, and the other one kind of lets you go, maybe you can catch Harriet Tubman on your way out if you stay with the one that don't lynch you. Now, why would I sit around and say, well, I don't know, I don't want to be enslaved, either one is okay? No, that is not how you think of politics, and that is not how you've been taught of slavery. If you know you can get out from under the noose, that's what you would do. You deal with whatever else going down. So we got to stop. We got to be strategic. We got to start thinking, really thinking, because it's our lives depend on it. We see that now.
Yes.
This year alone showed us that if you don't do what you need to do, your life is in jeopardy.
Yes.
Yeah, because
and our children, the ones coming up behind us, we have to carve that way for them.
Exactly. That's the important thing, because the road was laid for us. To follow, move into. That's how what we're going on now.
Absolutely.
Our ancestors,
what
they did. Some of them went in a direction that we didn't necessarily, but they all was fighting. There was those that was like Dr. Martin Luther King that may allow the dogs on.
All of them. Marcus
Then there was
Garvey, all of them.
The Malcolm X that would not allow that. But there was the Panthers. So we had different people, but all of them were fighting
same
for
cause.
a cause.
That's
you know what
right.
I'm saying?
Same cause.
So that's what's happening now. You may not like this person or that person, but you got to be strategic. You got to see, well, none of them just going to really nilly do what you don't force them to do. But if you got one in there, like a Joe Biden, say for instance, you can encourage them, or you can, make them hope that you can make them see some decency. But there are those that there's no decency nowhere near them.
Right, and that's Trump.
And
the people that follow him.
Yeah.
And now that the sad, what's sick, really sick? They said he has dementia.
Well, that is what was obvious.
Now you got these knuckleheads following a demented tyrant.
Because they may not have dementia, but they have a sick mind.
Yeah, they
Their
definitely have
minds are
still
just
all
as, pathological,
one way or another.
one way or the other.
But isn't that sick? And the rest of the world is watching.
Yeah.
We're vulnerable.
Yeah. That's the bottom line.
God help us.
Help us. I know, and He will. He will. Well, let me just say this before we leave. I thank you all again for coming, but I want you to know that we appreciate you, and you're always on our mind. We're going to pray for each other, because these are some serious times. No joke about it. Some serious time, and we know that together we come with the village concept. We will make it, and not only will we make it, we're going to. Not to just survive, we're gonna thrive.
Yes,
that's what
thrive. That's what this is about. Yes,
but we gotta make sure that we understand the assignment. They say understand the assignment, and the assignment is to go out and move in whatever directions you can.
Right.
Just make sure, as our brother Joe Madison said, what we're gonna do about it. Do something about it. Now, I am so appreciative of y'all. We're going to leave you and hopefully see all of you next Monday. And by that time, my book, hopefully the children book, What's in a Name? Must You Tell Everything? Will be out. And I want to get some response from some of you all next week to see if you went forward and
spread the word,
spread the word, and call and make the call. Call your libraries, call your bookstores, wherever you get your book, Amazon or wherever, and alert them. And even if they don't have them in print now, they will in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
but that
Christmas is coming.
Yeah, that will encourage them to look for them and bring them
and
in.
give excellent gifts.
Yeah,
for the
definitely
kids.
For the kids. Always make sure every kid have one of these books.
Yes.
Okay, we are going to say adios.
Yes,
and we'll
stay warm.
Yeah.
Stay warm.
And we'll definitely see you all next Monday.
Yes.
God bless.
Bye-bye.